2025, and India is aiming to manufacture 126 billion USD dollars mobile phones by 25-26. And to match all these things, India would need a robust fiber optics infrastructure in securing all those assets. We are discussing here today agendas for fiber optics and city gas. In city gas, there is a strong emphasis has been laid on expansion of city gas distribution across the country, covering 407 districts with a potential to make gas accessible to 70% of the Indian population. The distribution network would enable supply of cleaner fuels to household, industrial, commercial, and as well as transportation sector. And there is expected investment of 120,000 crores of rupees over next 10 years in city gas segment. Uh, I would now introduce you to the panelists for city gas, and we have Mr. Vipin Gupta, Managing Director, Trenchless Engineering Services Private Limited. He is here. Please give him a big round of applause. He would be the moderator. Now the panelist, Shri Alok Anand, he is General Manager, PJ CDG, IOCL. Please give him a big hand. Mr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, GM, CDG, GAIL India Limited. Please give him a big hand. Mr. Rajiv Chak, Senior General Manager, Pipelines, Engineers India Limited. Please give him a big hand. Shri Chandramani Jagdish Tiwari, Vice President, Project Controller, AGNP. Please give him a big hand. Mr. Sachin Mathur is here. He is here, DGM, O&M, Think Gas. Please give him a big hand. Request all the panelists and the moderators to please come on the stage. Oh, CG. Oh, sir, congratulations. Party aati ki khushi mein? Sir, this is Vipin ji, aap I can have somebody else on the pipelines. Pipelines. Ma'am, would you like to join for this panel as well for the pipelines? Okay, that's okay. Now I would hand over this panel to Shri Vipin Gupta ji to start the discussions. Thank you, sir. Please take over.
Good evening, gentlemen. We welcome you on behalf of Underground Magnetics, and today's topic would be city gas distribution. As Mr. Rajiv has rightly put, that the potential for city gas in India is exponential. We have just scratched the surface. Over the next 5 years, 120,000 crores of investment from Indian government, Indian entrepreneurs is going to see the light of the day. And that's why this becomes literally a very hot topic. I mean, city gas is definitely hot. And we have to step up the plate. We have to do a lot of investment. More and more entrepreneurs have to come in. The government has put in a fantastic effort in getting city gas also with compressed biogas. which is the hot topic today. And I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs would be looking at city gas, compressed biogas units. I think the government has put in a lot of effort in public sector enterprises. They have to put almost 25 to 30 plants. Every PSU has to put 25 to 30 plants every year to augment the compressed biogas because India wants to be very self-sufficient in our own energy to address the energy needs. So here we are. We have with us Mr. Alok Anand, who is a GM, what else, City Gas Distribution from Indian Oil Corporation. Mr. Sanjay Singh from GAIL, again in City Gas Distribution. We would like to pick his brains on, what is coming into the country for city gas, what other cities are going to get opened, and how the cities have performed in the past. Because I think a lot of rounds of auctions have happened. Think Gas is doing very well. Adani Gas is doing very well. So what are takeaways from city gas distribution in the past, and what do we see for the future? And then of course Indigenous India Limited. Chak Saab is here, an old friend of ours. He can give a lot of valuable inputs. From our private sector side, Mr. Chantamani is there. We would like to see, sir, because you have been operating, putting in new projects as well for city gas. You are putting in new projects in city gas very actively in Mysore and other places. So we would want to see your end of the story, from a private investor side, that what are the issues and, and likewise, Mr. Sachin Mathur from Think Gas, we would like to see this thing. So I hand over the fields to Mr. Alok Anand from Indian Oil to speak about the city gas. Thank you.
Am I audible? Yeah. Good evening to all, and welcome to this August gathering where the panelists are there, eminent panelists, to discuss about the roadmap of city gas distribution after recent rounds of bidding. Actually, prior to 8th round, the city gas distribution biddings, from earlier 2018, the bidding was done with no MWP target as such. So the investments were not as per the requirement. What the vision was to make India 15% in the energy basket by 2030. So PNGRB thought of making it mandatory for the upcoming bidders for investing in a phased manner year on year to gain the momentum of having the infrastructure in place and to have a level playing field for all the three key stakeholders like the transporter, the producer and the consumers. So with this in mind, they have set a MWP target, minimum work program, year on year with the penalty clause, of course. So the momentum gained after that, but unfortunately the COVID stepped in and we were taken back by 2 years at least. So what we should have been today is not that was expected. But anyhow, with this in mind, the investments are there, huge investments are there, and it is across nation in one go. So it is not localized. So we can see everywhere the buzz is to have a CNG vehicle, CNG as a fuel, as a feedstock, PNG as a feedstock, and then the household, again the national drive is there, where the PNG drive was initiated with PNGRB to have maximum number of PNG consumers, and we are also part of having it, and it is a pan-India drive. So we can hope to see future very bright for CGD, and the investments are very, very high, going to be very, very high. The only lagging that I could see is the lack of experienced manpower. So because of the limited resource, we are facing trouble, and the vendors are also, at least they are gearing up. So we hope to have a bright future in days to come. With this, and we are having in Indian Oil having 26 GAs across India, covering 11 states and about 50 odd districts. So we are very aggressive and we are so far meeting the PNGRV targets set to us, and we hope to be above par with the expectation of PNGRB, and would like to meet the target of the GOI to be having 15% of gas share in energy basket by 2030. With these words, I hand over to Mr. Sanjay Kumar for further deliberation. Sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving your insight into what is happening and getting to a market share of 50% by 2030. So that 50% market share of 2030 is actually in household or also in industries that we're giving the gas to industries, sir?
The vision 15%, sorry.
15%,
it is not
yes.
50%.
Okay.
It is 15%. Right now, the energy basket is having share of 6% of natural gas.
Right.
Not PNG and CNG in isolation. It is together, put together. So right now it is 6%, and we hope to give it a jerk to have it 15% of the energy basket by 2030.
So, okay. So, achievable, sir?
It is tough because the energy demand is growing
Right.
at the same time. So we need to at least consumption of natural gas has to be 4 times what it is right now to achieve that target. So the government thrust is required, like what we have in NCR, where the NGLT has made it mandatory for people to have commercial vehicles with CNG. So like that, we should have the corridors, green corridors declared by the government, and at the same time making it mandatory for the cities to be declared as a LPG free city, something like that to boost the consumption of natural gas.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. So I would request Mr. Sanjay Kumar Singh to give his valuable inputs on where the market is going.
Good afternoon to all. Am I audible? Yeah. So, in continuation to what Sri Alok Anand has told, my point is that as government told earlier also and now also, that 3 A's are important for natural gas to expand further. And number 1 is affordability, and number 2 is availability, and number 3 is accessibility. So all 3 are required altogether. If we want to make and achieve the targets which government has set in, whether it is presently it is 6.7 or 7%, and it is going towards 15%. Now come to CGD. CGD sector has been, you can say there is a regulator, that is PNGRB, and what PNGRB is doing, they are allotting GAs, and almost all of the country has been divided into various GAs, and till now around 302 number of GAs has been allocated by PNGRB to various companies, whether it is public sector or private sector. But as saying goes, to expand CGD in these GAs, what we require? We require mainline connectivity to all these GAs, and then the infrastructure. So the major points are to grow CGD sector in any GAs. First point is how we improve or how we go for the installation of infrastructure. So we have to grow all the infrastructure in faster way, otherwise we will lose the steam actually. So faster implementation of infrastructure is the key for growing the CGD sector in any GA. So likewise, earlier what we see, what about the IGL, what they did, they do the infrastructure implementation in faster way. Likewise, MGL, what they do the infrastructure development in faster way. So that is the key for development of any CGD in any GA. First point is. Now come to what about the pipeline connectivity? There are two methods which we can do. One is main pipeline connectivity, what GAIL is doing for other CGDs. And other one is virtual connectivity, which we have done recently in our one of the GA that we called LCNG, that is virtual pipeline. So we can set up LNG plants at various GAs prior to mainline connectivity. We can convert LNG into LCNG. Then we can make an ecosystem for developing that CGD in that GA. So that is another thing that we can do to improve on the CGD infrastructure availability. And next one is what you can say what our neighbor countries are doing, that is China. They are doing LNG conversion in long-haul vehicles. We can also do that, and GAIL is also planning to set up around 25 to 26 stations based on LNG to spread or to increase the share of natural gas in energy baskets. So on this note, I want to say that presently GAIL is doing 6 GA on his own, and 16 plus 6, that is 22 through their subsidiaries, and remaining 36 through their JVs. So overall, we are doing 68 numbers of GAs, and we are following this type of policies to spread CGD network in the country at present. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, great insight also, and speaking on behalf of the visitors here, a couple of brain-picking questions. We have been hearing about this LNG because LNG has a very high calorific value, and the conversion is into very large vehicles. So, but really the project has not really taken off. Was it also because of the effect that the Ukraine war had on the LNG prices? Because we have been hearing that, on a national highway, we would be putting a lot of LNG stations, and they could be into different models like COCO, CODO, and DODO, dealer operated, dealer owned, and all that. But I mean, we haven't seen any action on the ground. I mean, probably one in Nagpur because of Gadkari ji, somebody's invested, but by and large, all over India, this is mostly lacking. So where do we see that, this being actually fructifying and taking place in reality?
Actually, you are rightly said that it has not taken up as it was thought of. And reason is that of Ukraine war. Due to Ukraine war, LNG prices suited up like anything, which was not imaginable actually. But if you see nowadays, that trend is within LNG prices are roaming between 8 to 12 or 8 to 13 dollar per MMBTU, which is affordable for setting up LNG stations. And another one is COVID actually. What Mr. Alok also emphasized, that COVID also impacted that plan of government for setting up LNG stations across the highways. And another thing is, this is simple chicken hen story actually. Whatever should come first actually. First we have to place the infrastructure, then ecosystem of LNG dispensing will come. So what presently GAIL is planning, we are planning in all three sectors actually. We have to set up LNG stations, then we have to discuss with various transporters, various convergence agencies. We are talking with them, and we are trying to make them come to one platform actually. And whether it is GAIL platform or whether it is a LNG platform, which we can work with other industry also. So that we are planning in that way. GAIL is trying to implement 26 number of stations within the span of next coming 1 to 2 years.
Right, sir. So I think on the private partnership into converting their existing diesel engines into LNG kits, I think it was kind of a similar story that happened for CNG when we converted from petrol to CNG. There was a lot of protests, a lot of people, self-immolated because they could not afford it. So I think kind of a same story will go along with LNG also, because the conversion kits the little that I read into the reports, the conversion kits are very, very expensive. Now, and we would be using these for, very large trucks or, I think the ideal case would be the mining industry where, very large Caterpillar engines are required and it would be really good. But the conversion kits cost about 1.5 crores. So until unless there is going to be an incentive from the government for, either that goes into an EMI model or something that, some subsidy has to be given for them to convert from diesel to LNG. Of course, it's a clean energy. So this is going to take a little bit time to take off. Right, sir?
You are rightly said that what China is doing actually, they have government has invested on infrastructure. Suppose we increase the number of LNG stations, then the transporter can reduce the size of cylinder actually. What they have to put in the long haul vehicles. So they can do away with small investment and large investment will be from government sides. So that we are planning to put number of more LNG stations so that cylinder size can be reduced. You can achieve that, you can do that with minimum capex. So that is one thing. Other one is pricing model actually. What pricing model one can offer for the transporter. So that different pricing model is coming. One of the pricing model is that you price LNG with respect to diesel actually.
Correct, sir.
If we give some slope with respect to diesel, then there will be a, you can say return on investment for the user.
Right, sir.
So that we are also thinking of, that we are discussing with mining people, with other, you can say Amazon and like that, which we are, who are using long haul vehicles. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I would call upon Mr. Rajiv Chak, Senior GM Pipelines, on the role of Engineers India Limited into CGD and, into the pipeline network.
Hello. Namaskar everyone. I am Rajiv Chak representing Engineers India Limited here. EIL is the pioneer for city gas distribution in the country. We have started city gas distribution consultancy in 2000. We have supported IGL that time, and about 60 CNG stations installed by under the supervision of Engineers India Limited. After that, we have done various small jobs in terms of like Lucknow city gas distribution safety study. We have checked their total pipeline system. Similarly, we have done for Noida, but we have not gone ahead for these full-fledged PMC services for the private sector or the government sector that followed after 2005. The cost, the kind of PMC services, the city gas business is a very cost dependent business. The product is priced very competitively against alternate energy available like the power supply or the diesel or the petrol. So unless until you keep your margin very low, it is very difficult to run your business because you are not free to market your product as your own rate or your own term. You have to market it with respect to the certain market driver fuels, like the coal is there, some places where you are supplying to the industry, or you have a fuel oil, or you have a power supply like the geyser in the household. People are comparing with the geyser cost with the natural gas geyser or the your normal power supply geyser. Similarly, you want to drive your vehicle, diesel vehicle or a petrol vehicle. Now you are comparing the running costs in terms of the conventional fuel. So this is the challenges in marketing the city gas distribution. In this challenge, the cost of business, you're implementing the business is a very serious matter for the agency who are implementing it. They cannot go for a cost bracket higher than the certain margin. And EIL is not fitting into that bracket because we are basically the your refinery company or the petrochemical company or the larger area of the oil and gas business. So the kind of the manpower what we are having and the kind of business, city gas is termed as a very low technique business. Technology is very simple and low. So the kind of expertise EIL provide, there are very few taker for that kind of business. But now the LNG is coming into the picture. So EIL is very active, and we have designed two LNG stations for Kochi. Petronet, we are designed for Petronet, and few buses are running on. So when you are going a higher value chain, where the difficulty level is high or technology level is high, so EIL is playing that role at that point of time. Recently, with GAIL also, we are in talk for many LNG stations along the highway from Mumbai Expressway. So we are already having advanced stage discussions. Similarly, for BPCL also for LNG supply, we are having the discussion with them because LNG give an advantage, first mover advantage. Moment you have your city gas distribution, your authorization from PNGRB, you can immediately go for your monetization of your business within no time. Maybe a 6 month or 8 month you can have your business running. So that you can roll over your working capital quickly. And when the pipeline comes, you can replace LNG with the normal natural gas. And for the remote area, LNG still makes sense because laying a pipeline is much more difficult as well as time consuming and the costly affair. So the new locations like the northeast now or the Jammu Kashmir area, where we are planning to have a big way for LNG distribution business. And now, since I started city gas distribution way back in 1992, now I am not talking about as a EIL, but as your city gas man. So 92, we have started the first CNG station in Bikaji Gama place. P. Shankaranand was the petroleum minister at that time, and we have started a makeshift CNG station in front of our office, GAIL India Limited, and in nearly 2-3 hours only I got to convert my chairman car to CNG, and morning we have to fill that car and display for the start of CNG. So with this short notice, we have started the city gas program. After that, we have been given nearly 30 vehicles by different manufacturer, Maruti, Bajaj Auto, then your Fiat, Hindustan Motor, then Kerala Automobile, then many other companies, then Ashok Leyland, Tata. We have got 10 buses from Ashok Leyland, Tata. We have got Maruti Gypsy, Maruti 800, Fiat Padmani, then your Ambassador Motor Isuzu car, and the old your Ambassador. So we have done the trial on those. We have imported the CNG kit from all over the world. We have sourced the CNG kits from Australia, New Zealand, Italy, USA, and Argentina. So we have installed these kits in all the vehicles, and we given this vehicle to your ARI Pune for testing. Then we are given to VRD Ahmednagar that designed the army vehicle. Then we have given to our vehicle to IAP Dehradun. So all these people have run those vehicles for nearly 2 lakh kilometer and tested different kind of systems supplied by these 5, 6 countries. And then they have marked that this vehicle, because that time the choices are very less and nobody was expecting that choices will go this way, whatever we can see today. So they said for this Maruti 800, this make of kit is best for this kind of for Ashok Leyland bus, this kit is best. For Tata bus, this kit is best. Like that, we have optimized the kit system for all each type of vehicle, and then we have floated a global tender for inviting all these CNG kit system. We procure nearly 5,000 CNG kit across the globe for different model of the vehicles, and there were no taker initially for these kits. So we have requested the Ministry of Petroleum how to dispose of this 5,000 kit, because our auditors, internal auditors, finance, they were after our life that you have invested so much of money and your kits are not going into market. So then they allow us to install these CNG systems in DTC buses. DTC buses offered about fleet of 100 buses. Then all the chief secretary's vehicle, all the minister's vehicle, all these vehicles we have given, and then we have installed them in Delhi, all these vehicles, and we have opened up at that time 12 CNG stations initially in Delhi, and 3 CNG stations we opened up in Baroda, and 5 or 6 CNG stations in Mumbai. That time there were no MGL, no IGL. I'm talking about 93, 94, 95. So, and for Delhi CNG station, we have started CNG from Ghaziabad. Because in Delhi that time there was no gas pipeline. Gas pipeline Maruti line came much later, that supplying to Maruti Udyog for their factory paint shop. So we have bought a land in village Bametha near the Ghaziabad border. And from the main HBJ line, we have done the hot tapping, and then we have installed the CNG station there. From there, we hired the truck and this CNG cylinders, cascades. We were transporting from village Bametha to Sarai Kale Khan. That time, 4, 5 CNG stations were there along the ring road. We continue this way of distribution till 95, and in 95 we got the land from DDA, Sarai Kale Khan. There we have shifted the village Bametha compressor and other facilities to the new location, Sarai Kale Khan. Though Sarai Kale Khan, our own station, as well as in front of Sarai Kale Khan, the Savita filling station, the two were online stations, first online stations, some other compressors in Delhi. After that, Super Auto at Srinivaspuri, that came up. Then your Safdarjung Enclave, your Safdarjung Hospital, there one petrol pump that was put on online. So slowly this build up. And suddenly in 98, Supreme Court given the order to GAIL to install 100 CNG station in a year. And that time our chairman asked me that what is this Supreme Court order, and explained me what is CNG. So this was the level of working in the company. So then I explained what is CNG and how we are distributing. Till that time, in top level, nobody was bothering about this thing. We were doing it our own. So then I explained that it is a serious matter than how we can install 100 CNG station in a year, and then Supreme Court will be after our life. So within a 1-2 month, we have formed the Indraprastha Gas, because GAIL said it is difficult as a GAIL to implement this project, because we require a faster your decision making. So they have made the Indraprastha Gas, a new company and a joint venture company, GAIL and Bharat Petroleum. So we got the director of finance from BPCL, and the CEO from GAIL. So this was the configuration we started IGL. And in Mahanagar, we have made, in Bombay, we made the Mahanagar Gas Limited. So this is the first two companies who started your city gas. Then rest is the history. You all know how things go on. But one more thing, I got the implementation of 100 CNG station in Delhi. I was the project manager for that job. And till I was there, I could able to complete 78 CNG stations in Delhi in 1 year. So that was a Herculean task and real tough time that time we had, because now everything was new for everyone, not only for us, but even the user, even the industry, even the supplier, component supplier. So our first lot of equipment came from Argentina, Italy, then Argentina, Italy, and New Zealand. First set came from New Zealand, after that Argentina, and then Italy. So this is the how, but now after 2000, we got the first supply from India, that is Dresserent India, and one more company from Pune. So those two compressors, we bought it from there. In this journey, I want to tell you one more small bit. See, the CNG program first started by Bharat Pumps and Compressor. But then in the journey, they just left out. Now all this multinational company came and they have delivered the equipment. The first equipment of 92, we have developed 3 CNG compressors in India with the help of BPCL, that Bharat Pumps and Compressor Limited, Naini, Allahabad. So they have modified the that time existing LPG compressors and modify into CNG compressors. So this kind of skill was available for us in 92. But then our systems in government, they somehow not allow these things happen and continue. So after these 3 compressors, we have not, I think one more set, 3 more we bought, 6 sets we bought from Nani. But timeline was, I mean, they took nearly 2 years to develop these compressors and then supply. And the initial CNG cylinders were also imported, bought from Nani only. But second lot start coming from New Zealand and your Italy. In New Zealand become the big supplier that time because the CNG program was closed there. Because there was no differential cost between the conventional fuel and the CNG. So in 92, they closed down their CNG program. And we have started CNG program. So we have got many equipment from them, but they were second-hand equipment, so they were not lasted long. After that, when we bought new equipment, then Italian and the Argentina, these people came and started this functioning. So during the journey, we have done a lot of development work. We have designed the sizes of the equipment and the locations, space, how much space CNG station should minimum space is required. All those initial legwork we have done and freeze those. Even those specifications are today, people are using it even after 23, 24 years. So this is and this become, at least in India, the standard. See, that time, first tender when we floated for mother compressor, it was 1200 meter cube per hour. Everybody was laughing at us. We went to Germany for your NGV conference that time. So people were telling India gone mad. Because that time the size of compressors were 250, 150. 250 was a big size compressors developed by New Panoni, and one more company was there, CP. So when I was talking to them in a conference that we want 1200 SCMH, they was said, where you will fill this gas? Because there was no taker. But somehow our calculations tell that every CNG station at least should have 1200 meter cube compressor, and at online station 650 meter cube station. The idea was to give a location, no queue your design. Anybody coming in, he should not have a waiting period more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. With that in mind, we have designed these compressors. And today, everybody, you can appreciate that those sizes are optimum. And because our two criteria were the availability of power supply. Because if you go more than 100 kilowatt motor, you have to go for an industrial load. Till 99, you can go for a domestic load. And cost is very high, going from 100 to 99 to 100. So we have optimized the machine that we will not go more than 100. So our 98, 99 kind of machine for Delhi area. And initially we bought 50% machine motor driven and 50% machine your engine driven. Because that time, if you all remember, Delhi has a very shortage of power. So nearly in daytime, 4 to 5 hours, there used to be no power. And industry used to run in night only. If you people from Delhi appreciate Wazirabad area or your Okhla, so everybody has a big generators and they used to work overnight. And daytime, no factory, only night they start working because power supply used to be available that time. So with this, because our business was in day, because vehicle will come in daytime only, they will not come in night. So what we should do? So we have designed that we should run our machine with generators. I mean, not generators, direct engine coupled, so that your transmission loss is less and it is optimum. So first machine we have bought from USA, your Caterpillar engine and your aerial compressor. So they are very, very good machines, and still many of them are in service even after 25 years. So after that power supply condition, Delhi improved after 2010 or so. That time more and more motor driven. See, motor driven machines are smaller. They have a very small footprint, but engine driven machines are bigger because engine is big. Second, your radiator, etc. All these things make it very big. So now your CNG station looks very neat and clean and small. That time they were little more bulky, maybe a 1 meter size bigger than what is you are having today. Then we have a lot of development in the dispenser side. Many of the people who are in the instrumentation area, initially we bought the dispensers from a second-hand dispenser from New Zealand. So about 15 or so we bought. After that, when we gone commercial program, then we floated a tender, and then again a New Zealand company, Compare. Compare, that time is name, it become Compact now. So Compare, they have become the L1, and we bought nearly 40 dispenser from them. But we Indian people are very, very technology savvy. We could able to find out ways to take out the gas unmetered. So a lot of short circuit in the meters, and we are having losses, and we are buying from GAIL certain quantity and not able to match with what is our sales. But we were able to match it with the cost, because raw material cost was X and our cost was Y. So that way we are able to match make little profit. But in terms of real matching with the fuel, what we got from GAIL and what we are selling, there was a large gap. So we have done a lot of checking of the machines, and then we found how people are stealing the gas from the machines. Then we changed the specification, and then we again floated a tender. That time Argentina won the tender, and they have supplied about 120 your dispensers. They had another unique problem of, because the frequency of electricity, we have 50 hertz. They are having 60 hertz. So when we put those machines in 50 hertz, then their meter reading start jumping anytime. So our dispensing boy was complaining, sir, we have noted the reading at the start of a sale, but it is not matching when we close the sale. So it was a new problem emerged that way. So all the EPROMs, electronic memory of these machines, were sent back to Argentina. They are configured with your 50 hertz frequency, and then they brought back. Then those dispensers worked, and they worked well. and we had no problem after that. The third problem we faced regarding dispenser was the flow of gas. Uh, we have three types of vehicle, largely auto rickshaw, we have a car, and we have a bus. So the flow rates required is different. The first set of auto rickshaw that Bajaj Auto sold in the market, when they start coming in market and start filling it at our stations, after 20 paisa, 30 paisa, it used to choke and stop. Then after 5 minutes, again you fill, again 30 paisa, 40 paisa, stop. Now Bajaj Auto complained to PMO that our machines are not good and they have to do something because their sale has gone very high for auto rickshaw. Immediately they have 10,000, 6,000 auto rickshaw that time. So every newspaper was covering this problem that IGL is not able to supply the gas to auto rickshaws. And auto rickshaw people, poor guy, who have invested that time maybe 4.5 lakh rupees in a auto rickshaw and not able to make any money. So then a lot of pressure on us, and then the ministry asked us to what you are doing. Then I went to the Bajaj Auto workshop in CP, Connaught Place. The largest seller of auto rickshaw was Bagga Link. So I went to Bagga Link, and Udit Bagga was that time. Now he's a big shot, but that time he was very young. His father was running the show. So I asked Udit, please help me to see, I want to see the auto rickshaw. I want to dismantle and see the CNG system, what they have done, what they have done. So he allowed me to open up one of the new auto rickshaw. So, and then I checked how gas is going and where it is going, what is the problem. Then I able to locate the problem was in the filter. What they have done, they have installed a filter in a gas flow line. When you fill the gas, that filter is coming into that path. So filter having a very, flow rate is very less because engine requirement because the filter was designed for engine. So engine requirement is maybe 100 gram per hour or something. But when you are flowing 2000 gram gas. So what is happening, Joule-Thomson effect, if many of the people are engineers, they will understand. When the high pressure to low pressure, if you go, immediately cooling takes place. That is how our AC work. So what happened then, the ice formation or the cooling taking place into the filters, and then filters are getting jammed, choke. And then after 5 minutes, because of the atmospheric heat, it is again melting and becoming the okay, and then you again fill, again it will fill little gas. So this was a problem. Then I asked Udit, can you help me to remove this filter from here, and I will install it here. I will install it into the your engine side pipe, not in the filling side pipe. So he said, Rajiv, it is a brand new auto rickshaw. I don't know whether somebody will buy it or not. Nothing will happen, don't worry, I take a lead, just to allow me. So he said, okay, then I dismantle the filter from the cylinder head and install new fittings I developed from the market and install it on the engine side. And then smooth pipeline for gas filling. And then I took that auto rickshaw to the nearest CNG station, I filled it. And I could able to fill about 7 kg of gas, though that cylinder was meant for 5 kg of gas only. So, but because that time the filling pressure was high, 250 bar pressure we were filling. So everybody was very happy that the auto rickshaw got 70 kg of gas. So everybody on the station was clapping, and it was a real sight. Because you can see the drivers, the happiness in their eye, because the last 3-4 months they were losing a lot of money. So, and they were having no hope in the new whatever they bought. But this small thing changed. Then I explained to the Bajaj Auto that please modify this thing. Then he done for all the auto rickshaws, and then this become okay, the new thing for auto rickshaw. Thank you. The brief story, what has gone into the, what you are seeing today. But this is the development part. A lot of new things are required now, new generation who are now in the market and working because we have worked 30 years ago. So please put your brain once again, put your fingers, make your hand dirty once again, and see things work in a much better way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was quite a journey, last 30 years. And who better than Mr. Rajiv Chok to delve into the details. Thanks a lot, sir. I move over to having a perspective from the private sector side, and I request Mr. Chandramani from AGMP to give his 2 words.
It's on. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Bipin, and thank you, Alok ji, Sanjay ji, and Rajiv ji for giving especially Rajiv ji, seems that, patriots of CNG technology, how he has developed from the scratch. Now, I represent a company called AGNP. I'll give a brief background about our company. We are 100% FDI, promoted by foreign investors. We have got a license for 34 districts, which is translated into around 8 to 10% of the land mass of India, and which we touch upon 5 to 8% of population of India. And we are given the program to develop around 17,000 inch kilometer of steel pipeline. We'll be having around 1.1 million more than customers connected with us when we complete our program, and around 1,500 CNG stations. So this is a program which is PNGRB has mandated under the MWPU. Now, what is the company's commitment? Why I'm telling you, I'll tell you after this. So we are committed, we already committed around $1.5 billion of investment. As I speak, we commission almost 1 station CNG per day. At that kind of torrid pace of project, I'm sure it is unmatched in, I'm just not bragging about, I'm telling about the commitment of the CGD industry to make this plan of government taking 6% market share to 15% a real success. So we have, as of now, almost built up around 10,000 inch kilometer of pipeline, and we are commissioned around 370 stations. I was hearing to Mr. Alok Anand from IOCL. Now, what we have done, when we were authorized, and mostly we are in the southern part of the India where the gas is a new word for southern part of India. Am I audible? So, where it is very, very well known in western and northern part of India, gas in a pipe to gas or in a vehicle, it is something new which has come in southern part of India very recently. And then we had not presence of trunk pipelines connected with our network. So chicken and egg, so we wanted to develop, the company wanted to develop the market very fast. So we invested hugely on LCNG, Anand sir. So we are, I think, probably one of the only CGD network which operates 12 commissioned LCNG stations. We take a lot of gas in LNG form, gasify and service to the customer, those who are connected, and we do not have a trunk pipeline, or the pipeline will be coming at a later date. The company said we can't wait. We have to pass on this benefit of gas to customer and make them familiar with the benefit of the natural gas. So as I speak, 1,200 LCG stations we have commissioned, and we are working on 15 more. We are working on almost 12 interconnects with IOCL, GAIL, wherever we find trunk pipeline. So that kind of commitment the company is there. Now it is not only the AGP. I am really personally very bullish about the CGD industry, which is poised to grow exponentially. Now I'll give you just some statistics. In past 3 years, 4 years, if you see, the authorized GA has grown from 50 to 300. So the government is doing a lot of support in terms of awarding this GA, and the regulators are actually becoming facilitators, which is very, very heartening and very, very welcome sight. Very hardly you will see in other part of the country, where the regulators and the government agencies are acting as a facilitator, as a catalyst to this growth. So last 3 years, the GA has covered almost 98% of the land population of India. So almost every population of India is awarded, and sooner or later it will be connected with the city gas network. Now 6% is what? Currently our gas usage is around, so why I'm telling you, Bipin, because this forum is represented by service providers. They are people who are into EPC designing from the scratch, and there are people from oil industry, gas industry who are tasked to develop this gas market. Now as we say that around 170 million MMSCD gas we use per day, Indian consumption. Now 6% is what? Around, I just calculated the back of envelope, is hardly what? 10 MMCFD now. Now as we grow and we reach by 2030, where we say that our gas basket will grow from 6 to 15%, this is going to increase by 7x. Because the gas consumption which is at 170 is going to be almost by 500 million metric SCMD per day. Now of that 15%, if you calculate, it is something around 76 million. So the story of gas, city gas, is, I am bullish about it. It is going to go exponentially. And everybody who is involved into it, from the designer to service provider to the city gas business people, they are going to grow. And we are committed to meet the target and reduce the emission levels to the extent possible. Now, my second thought which comes in my mind, because I have a lot of, because we have executed the project at a very scorching space and we have got some experiences. They are good, and I was hearing to somebody saying, as we go from 10 to 70, 7x, there is going to be requirement of skilled manpower. Number of service provider has to be multiplied. The cost of service provider also has to come down. Okay, so everybody has to work hand to hand together and support this massive mission, I will say, which as a nation we have taken. Now, I also hear sometime what is going to happen, the energy basket. So my firm belief is that data you can check that while it may happen that, entire energy basket, there will be a shift from coal to gas, gas to natural gas, coal to oil, oil to, but overall, whether it's a coal, it's a oil, it's a gas, everything is poised to grow by not less than 5 to 7x. If India has to become 5 trillion economy, every sector will grow. So there is enough opportunity for everybody. Now what we are looking from the regulators while they are supporting, we are looking from industry, like those who are service providers. For example, let's say trenchless technology. We find it is, as of now, is very, very expensive, which is making projects to the extent of unviable. For many reasons. I am not following the technology itself, because still, when the city development happens, the development is happening in isolation. There is a smart city program happening and the entire thing is carpeted. There is no place left for the laying of the P network, steel network, and you end up going through a trenchless method, which as of now is very, very expensive. Okay, so we have to think about, we have to talk to what we are doing as a company. We are engaging with government at 3 levels. As a company, at a policy advocacy level. See, southern part of India, many will be surprised to know that the GST, VAT on the natural gas was as high as 25%. Now what we see, Delhi is 0 to 5%, right? You can imagine the task, the tough task we are handling in southern part of India. Now luckily the government is responding. So we are engaging with government on the policy advocacy level. One, by reducing the VAT, making it affordable, so that the commercial and transport fuel, people can use it. 2, we are also working on a reasonable level of permission charges. Now we were stuck because southern part or many part still in Bombay and all, the permission charges are so high. Per meter you pay around 2,000 to 5,000 rupees, either in terms of permission or in terms of restoration. Okay, so there also we are engaging, and many states are having 1 rupee or very reasonable charges, Gujarat, Rajasthan and all. So there also we are engaging. So government has to support at a policy advocacy level. Second thing, GST. Now we had just concluded session with PNGRB and now there is also talk of covering. Unless you cover the gas into the, GST, the organization, companies who are investing are deprived of input credit. Huge amount of money we are not able to take as an input credit. And then there has to be policy consistency, pricing consistency across. when you travel from north to south and east to west of part of India. So that is also we are engaging. We are engaging with PNGRB and regulators for sharing of infrastructure. For example, IOC and GAIL is having some infrastructure at some area where I am not having infrastructure. Can we share the infrastructure and take the service at reasonable cost? Cost of compression, cost of sharing the pipeline. Say you will lay a pipeline, STPL for your CGS. Maybe I can take a tap off and benefit from there, and PNGRB can fix up a reasonable charge for just like on the cross-country pipeline. So lot of things has to be done, lot of things. If I talk, it will go endless. So what I am saying that the city gas story mission has to, it will grow. Everybody will have to grow, will grow with it. Only thing is that we have to be more reasonable, because while the government is doing its share of giving, relaxing the policy norms, relaxing the tax, or relaxing regulation and all, we as an industry, service provider, we also have to look upon ourselves. How do we share the infrastructure? Those who are already a big player, reasonable player, and the companies who are into trunk pipeline. Now we are hardly 25,000 kilometer of pipeline in India, operational, and around 10 work is going on. Now if you compare with any other city, developed country, it is less than 10% of the network other developed country have. So unless the trunk pipelines are connected across, there is a network of across, the cost of transportation of gas, which is as high as around, I was talking to somebody, sometime it is less than $1 in some cases, more than $1. So at this rate, where the business will not. So we have to develop also the trunk pipeline network, so that city gas, the transportation of gas can be made reasonable and seamless. So all level we have to work, but the story of city gas is going to grow, and it is exponential. Everybody will grow along with it. We have to work with more bonhomie, more collaboration among the industry, among the service provider, and with the regulators and policymakers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving a great perspective from a private side. Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you, and that really puts a new spin on what we are going to look in next 6 years. Like like you said, the requirement will be 7x. So what we have done in last 30 years, we have gone to 6%, and going from 6% to 7%, and also having an increase in consumption, increase in requirements. So that is going to be 7 times. So we all know we have a very, very monumental task in front of us, ahead of us, and everybody has to, contribute for the economy to grow. Troubles notwithstanding, GSTs, right-of-ways, and all things, that is always taken with a pinch of salt. I've been all my life on the other side of the table, so who knows better than me? Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tiwari. And I move over to our last guest here, Mr. Sachin Mathur from ThinkGuess, and I would request him to, give his side of the story, especially since he's an O&M, so the challenges that he faces on his assets.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. I am Sachin Mathur. I am from ThinkGuess. Those who don't know about ThinkGuess, just let me brief you on ThinkGuess. ThinkGuess is currently operating in 7 numbers of GA. Mainly we are in Punjab, especially we are in Ludhiana and Jalandhar. In UP, we are just nearby in Baghpat. In Bihar, we are in Begusarai. In MP, we are in Bhopal and Shivpuri. And in Himachal, recently we received Kangra and Chamba, basically. So, since ThinkGuess is relatively very new organization, we started operation in 2019 onwards. And within a very short period of time, we have commissioned over 3,500 kilometer pipeline of MDP. It's the yellow color pipeline, which is generally laid for the societies and the big areas, and which cater gas to the domestic segment, commercial and industrial segments. We have also commissioned over 600 kilometers of steel pipelines, carbon steel pipelines, which carries high pressure up to 35 bar, 49 bar, even they can handle. We have recently commissioned, I think, longest CGD network of pipeline of 180 kilometers in Bhopal, basically, where we are receiving gas from GAIL from, there is a place, Gorakhpura, Rajgarh, and it comes to Bhopal. Uh, CGDs generally they receive gas from suppliers such as GAIL, GSPL, IOCL, and all. So we have custody transfer CGS station, city gate station of around 12 numbers of city gate station, and one LNG station, our LNG station, where generally we receive LNG gas in the form of LNG, and then we regasify it at our station in Bhopal. Uh, since uh, since we are the obviously we are the private players, so we have, along with the responsibilities, we have some commitments with our investors. Since any company which comes in the business, it comes to sustain in the business. So gas, along with the gas pricing, what Chandramouli sir has already said, gas pricing, government regulatories on GST, VAT and all, and gas policies and other, permissions, fasten the process of permission, and all these are hurdles. But yes, we are committed to lay pipeline as fast as possible, because in Thingas only we have to cover almost 19 lakh customer within 8 years of time. So we can see how huge opportunities are there, not only for Thingas, but the people who are nearby Thingas network, such as various contractors, local people, because once the pipeline project starts, it creates a lot of opportunity, job opportunities for local peoples. Uh, Generally, in this only we have started, collaboration with local colleges to get more skilled laborers, technicians, so that a lot of peoples are required whenever the infrastructure is laid. So these things are there, and we are also working on the technology part, because as sir said, you know, uh, we have a policy of nil accident, no harms to societies and environment. So thereby, not only the manual monitoring, we also require some technology in front, such as SCADA system, DCS system, for regular monitoring of data. Like if there any leakage happens, we generally get to know through the technology, through remote monitoring. We also do have a GIS system, QCS system, which helps in regular operation and maintenance. Whenever any third party nearby, third party excavator, they comes to the in vicinity of our network, if they want to lay their cable, optical fiber, whether or any other gas pipeline or oil pipelines, so we can easily make them understand where our exact pipelines are. So this GIS system works like it gives accurate geo points, which generally are taken while laying of the pipelines and all. So these things we generally, along with the technology, we have our trained manpower at the field. So we do take care of this, but still challenges are there. Not only the government bodies, but wherever if we are in the business of energy, the gas is there and it will burn. So the challenges are there. A fire can ignite any time. So yes, if any uncalled excavation happens, generally in operation and maintenance, we face these things, and leakage happens, and there are always chances of fires. So these things we are doing a lot of collaboration with the local bodies, such as there are recently PNGRB has they created one mobile application also for this, where all the utilities they inform to the local authorities that there are some digging works is going to be started. So all the utilities, they generally share the data, as well as whenever this data comes, they immediately take action. So these things are happening, but still a lot of collaboration is still required from local area also. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sachin, for giving your side of the story on the challenges in operations and management. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for giving your side of the story on challenges in operation and management, and of course the challenges as usual for a private entrepreneur. I think Gas is doing great, and like I said, it's our collective responsibility to grow the city gas network, the CNG. I remember after coming out of college, I used to go on a scooter. I mean, I didn't have a car. And going from Rajouri Garden to industrial area, in Okhla industrial area, I used to have a wind cheater, and I used to have goggles on my, in my eyes. And soon as I used to reach the office, I would take my goggles off, and everybody could, realize that I was wearing goggles. It was, my all face was black. So the first thing we used to do is to go to a washroom, have a face wash before attending the office. So we have come a long ways from, I graduated in 1989. We have come from a long ways from 1989, and the air, in spite of so much of more traffic, so many more cars, but I think the air quality and the suspended particles in the air is much less than what it used to be, believe me. It's much better, although we are still choking, but the particulate matter at that time was too much, and I think this is a great government initiative to get into CNG, and only thing is upwards and onwards. With that, I think I would close this panel, this section of panel, and if there are any questions from the esteemed guests, we want to take them. Thank you.
Questions from the audience? Audience, you have an elite panel here. You're free to ask the questions. So there is one question from my side. Yeah. Yes, sir, please. Get the microphone.
Am I audible, Raji? Yeah, so I have couple of questions, One is, sir, you were talking about compressors. What is the experience with the, or a comparison, or your experience as a CGD with engine-driven and electric-driven compressors in online stations? Hello.
See, gas engine, hello.
Yeah. So I was asking, your experience and feedback, comparison between gas engine driven and electric driven online compressors.
See, the compressors can be driven by gas engine or a motor, gas engine or a diesel engine, or a DG set and a motor. All this combination is possible. You have a normal compressor with a motor, you buy a gas engine driven generator, develop your generate power and drive your machine. Other way is you directly run your compressor with a gas engine, another mode. Third mode is you drive your compressor with a diesel engine. So all these economics are different. So what we have selected that time, direct gas engine driven compressor, because gas was our own fuel. If we select diesel engine, then we have to buy diesel from outside. So that was the criteria at that time, and gas cost was our raw material, so it is cheaper than the market if you go and buy a diesel. Compared to your power supply and gas generator, the power supply, your electric machines are cheaper, not direct cost of running, but in terms of equipment cost. The initial equipment is costly in gas engine, but motor driven it is cheaper. But but your power supply bill and the cost of equipment, if you see the lifespan of 15 years, that time a gas engine will be cheaper. So this is the another criteria. And suppose you have a subsidized electricity in many of the state, that time Maharashtra also having. So there we gone for generator and then running our motors. So it depends upon the where you are operating. But these are the three mode of operation. it's possible.
Just 1 second. You further. We in the Indian Oil, we are facing this question on and off. Ki why you are buying gas engine, why not electric driven engine, which is cheaper at capex cost. But we have done a calculation where we have seen that our GAs are mostly where the ecosystem is not there. The vehicular ecosystem is not there. So we have to create. So right now our one CNG RO is not selling up to the mark where the engine driven, the electric driven becomes more economical than gas driven. So we have taken this as a cutoff around 5,000 kg per CNG if we sell. Then only this electric driven becomes economical because of the fixed load factor. So we are having a balance of this. Right now we are preferring gas driven because of this only.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Second question is, I'm sorry.
I want to add one thing in this.
Please go on, sir.
If you see that the gas booked for consumption of compressor is RLNG actually. Okay, so that is higher price gas. And the electricity you are using, that is always cheaper actually. If you see, you are there in CGD, you are there for selling gas, not using gas actually. So there are two models for you to compare. One model is MGL, they are running on electrical basis. And one model is IGL, which is I think 75 or 25. 75% is gas engine, 25 is on motor. And another one way of selection is availability of infrastructure in that GA. If availability of infrastructure is there, go for motor actually. Because lesser AMC cost will always be there. And initially you have to pay the AMC until whatever will be your sale from that CNG station. So that might be the selection criteria.
Thank you. So my second question is, as the topic of the today's seminar is, you see a synergy between fiber optic laying and city gas pipeline laying, because there have been efforts in the past to combine these two, and it has not come up in a big way. Going forward, you see there is a synergy which can happen, and both these.
For Indian Oil, actually we are using this optical fiber with our steel network, because in pipeline division of Indian Oil, we were using earlier also, just to have this leak detection or something like that. So we are conversant with that. So we are putting OFC along with our steel network, and every fourth valve that we are putting, sectionalizing valve, is a gas operated valve. So there also for remote operation, either through GPRS, through SCADA, one option is there. And the second option, we are keeping it through OFC for closing or opening of a valve, a mainline valve. So we are only putting along with steel.
I am not talking of captive use, because this is exclusive use for your own network and valve operation. But as a business, fiber optic and pipe, we are digging a trench and laying both the things instead of doing separately. If we do it together, you see such a thing happening in future, at least in the cities that are not covered till now.
Scope is there.
Actually in GAIL we have think of that model actually, that we lay OFC along with steel as well as MDP up to 90 mm size. And we will lease out those bandwidth to other OFC optical fiber operators like Airtel, Jio, like that. But what we are seeing, that we are facing a lot of challenges in laying steel pipeline along with OFC. What is happening, that technical requirement of laying a steel pipeline along with AFC is different than only laying the steel pipeline. In city, it is not easy to lay a pipeline because there is not a dedicated ROU like we have in cross-country pipelines. So many times what is there, that if you lay the OFC duct, then blowing is difficult. You have already laid the pipeline, but OFC duct blowing is very difficult because so many cuts happens actually. in the city because of various development and all that. So that is one case. Otherwise, it is always beneficial because we are laying steel pipeline or MDP at the lowest point actually. All other utilities being remain at the top actually. Because as per PNGR, we have to lay pipeline below 1.5 meter. So it is advantageous, but it is at the other side, it is difficult also. So we have laid in our one of our GA, that is Varanasi, Patna, but we are facing lot of challenges actually.
My last question is probably more to Rajiv along with the panelists. So the underground, the geology of the land, we have to cross rivers, we have to cross culverts, we have to, cross roads. So underground geology is always a suspense. And even if when we start at long and deep HDD, it sometimes takes lot of time. It takes months altogether. So what are the technological advancements or, techniques that are coming which will reduce this uncertainty and the time and the effort taken, apart from the cost which Chandamani mentioned? That is of course
Our moderator is the right person.
हेलो, देखिए सिटी के अंदर जो आपने ट्रेंचिंग करनी है तो मोस्ट ऑफ द सिटी 90% रीफिल्ड होती है रोड साइड. In a city gas distribution, if you are laying up infrastructure in a city area, maximum of the time the city is refilled with some kind of a debris or the waste earth or something like that. So geotech investigation will not help you anything. What we used to do in our time, we used to do the inspection pit. Every 50 meter, 100 meter, we dig the inspection pit, and we used to see the cross section, how many utilities are there and where we can lay our pipeline. Now recently a few machines have come up for inspection pit, or even if you want to do the digging. It is a vacuum kind of system, heavy vacuum. It take the earth and whatever is there and fill in a truck. A truck goes away. So you are not left with any debris on the road. And you have a very nice cut of the trench. So those machines are available. Another problem comes in terms of trees. So that you can do with again, you have seen in YouTube's many machines have come up that can uproot the trees. So in our one of the project, I think Usar, we have uprooted nearly 100 trees with those machines, and even Delhi Metro is using those techniques, but they are not using the costlier machines, but they are using midway. I mean, there are other methods they are using it, but they are taking out the trees and planting some other location. But your survival of these trees are less in Delhi Metro case, but in our case it was 100%. So this is the two method for laying a city line in a cities. Like I have worked in Delhi area, I know I have laid nearly 1,000-kilometer line in the Delhi area of SDP or your steel line. So generally I've seen everywhere you dig, you will find some of your household items inside the trenches along the road. I hope we answered your question.
Sir, definitely, partly it is answered. So I work for the same company as Chandamani in AGP, and on southern side of the country we are facing a lot of rock HDD, especially when we go deeper. So my question is more.
No, I understand. I mean, I can go on about the data, and the bottom line is, you give better data to a contractor, you have a better chance of success. Hello? Yeah. All I can say is you can have a better chance of success if you have a better data. Most of the time, the data is not good or it is not authentic. You get better geotech done, and if you get better geotech done, you have a better planning and choose a better contractor. I'm not taking my name.
We have done in Kota. Kota, I think उससे ज़्यादा होगा नहीं.
Actually, recently, I will share one thing. We are doing some of these in eastern part of India, and one of the GA is Ranchi actually. It is situated on the Chota Nagpur plateau. There we are facing this rock challenge, and how we have solved it. One thing is that data actually. So geotech survey. Geotech survey you can do, if you are doing a geotech survey, you are doing up to 8 meter, that I am planning for 8 meter. You do for 12 meter or 15 meter. So that is one thing. So geotech data selection and interpretation of that data is very important. Another, then the selection of tool actually. What we are doing as a contractor or as a service provider, we start with a small machine. You start with 32 machine, it will fail, then you go for 63, then you go for 90, like that. What we have done, we have started with 90 ton actually. We have put the conditions that below 90 we will not allow. So in that way, we are successful. We made it clear that below 90 you cannot deploy. You deploy with this cutting tool, whether it is rock or not. So that is another thing. In that way, we are successful in Ranchi. Another one is in Jamshedpur, what we have faced, like Chak Saab told that it is a backfilled with iron slag actually. Whatever waste is there from Tata Steel, they have made a road actually that they call Marine Drive, where what we are facing, that cutter is getting eroded actually, because iron is cutting iron. So what we can do, we have to only dig the trench and then lay the pipeline. That is the only route. And sometimes what is happening, that you have to put bigger size of machine, or you have to do somewhere micro tunneling also. So there are various methods, but correct selection of, you can say collection of data, then selection of tool and machine, and then the operator also. If machine is new and operator is old, it will work. Machine is new, operator is new, it will fail actually.
Sir, I would like to add few things on what Sri Sanjay Singh sir said, that challenges of soil. So, we have a passive interference when it comes to the salty conditions or iron ore contents. So we need to use sub-kilohertz frequencies when we are drilling. That's a one solution which we provide. The second thing is what we are facing in city gas, like mapping of the city gas is not being done properly. Neither the GPS coordinates are available properly, nor the below ground coordinates are available. So we are suggesting everybody go for the mapping of all the utilities which are going below the ground. Our equipments do provide the mapping while drilling. You can map it and you can share it on a platform. I would say let's start sharing all the utilities on a single platform and give it to others so that they do not damage each other's pipelines or the fiber optics.
Just to add one thing, earlier was the case where SGD was used to happen in railway line or NH crossing or any Nala or river crossing. But now the scenario has been changed. Now almost in CGD also we have seen up to 60% or 70% laying are done through SGD method only, because of the urbanization and the market population density and all. And yes, the data sharing, that's why the data sharing makes a it's really the solution where a lot of we are in the populated area, we need to share the data with each other so that in case if any accident happens or to avoid any accident in future. Yeah.
So Rajiv, just again,
Yes,
same
yes,
continuation. Both things I will touch upon very briefly. When I was given opportunity to speak, I was telling the intent was that the responsibility lies on the service provider. Now in this gathering, I find the people who supply HDD machines. and the people who operate it. Okay. Now, what is our experience? We have massive deployment of bricks at our side. Every day, almost 80 to 70, 80 machines are working continuously. You know, out of that, I find only 10% people who are actually qualified. Okay. So those who know what is the pressure, what is the flow, what is the tool size, what is the capacity. So it is responsibility of HDD machine who provide, whether it is XCMG or drill 2 or whatever, Apollo, that they give a training to people. People should be there who are trained. Secondly, the operators who operate. There are very few operators like you operate a company and then I find those are very organized and they are very professional way of working. Otherwise, most of you find people buy a machine and they just deploy it. They start with 30 ton and then if it's not happening for months together, what happens? It delays my projects. It increases my cost of the project. So my request with the industry is that when the industry, earlier, when I was in cross-country pipeline, the ADD machines, we used to go and see how it is being done. And most of these were operated by expats. We did not have enough competency. Now it is a talk of town, everybody, you find ADD machines. So when the size is growing, the machine manufacturer has to decide on the cost of it. It has to be made affordable. The service provider has to also decide that how do we make it affordable. If the project cost of CGD is going to be huge, 30-40% high because of the HDD, all this ecosystem has to be, calibrating themselves with respect to the cost optimization. That is one. The second thing, what I was talking about, this thing. So this was HDD. Second thing, what you say, Rajiv, the government has started something called CBUD, call before you dig.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how, knowing the government and the people who are involved, okay, how every company, like I was hearing to GAIL, I am from Reliance, and now I am with AGP. We have the most latest technology deployed in terms of geo tagging of the assets we have, either on GPRS or in lease lines or our own captive. So we have data, we have mapping. What we need is some kind of organization like US you go 911. You have to dig, you have to call anything, you just call 911. So there has to be one agency, probably an NGO. I don't know whether government can do that or we have to create an agency which has only one number nationwide and all facilities are mapped and the person who is doing dig calls that agency only, just like 911. I have to dig at this place, please give me the marking. Next day that person gives informs all the, so that thing we have to migrate tomorrow when we go because the network is increasing and I am sure all CGD network companies are having cuts, especially MDP pipelines are more vulnerable. Every now and then there is a cut, there is a leakage of gas, disruption of gas supply. So Rajiv, I fully resonate with your thought. I don't know how government CBUD will be successful or we have to migrate to 911 kind of organization, but this is requirement of the time. We have to do it, we have to make our gas supply safe and seamless and uninterrupted.
Sir, one initiative Underground Magnetics has taken since we had the inception since 2016 in India, we started getting the ITI students and up till now we have trained 250 students and given to the market. But this is only one single initiative. We need initiatives from all.
So Rajiv, I'll again update you and other company doing. See what we did when Kapoor Saab and Ahuja Saab when we started doing this plumbing and P network, we scale up to 1200 connections per day. And we found that what we failed short of the fusion welders and the plumbers. So we started a program with the local ITI colleges called skill development where we train them and we absorb them when they get trained. Now what we are requested, the regulator also, to build up a program, a certification course for ITI and diploma holders. Yeah. Those who are qualified and they can be made available to industry. So Rajiv, if you are doing something on that, please connect with us also and with the industry. We'll see how we can leverage on each other's knowledge and
we'll do that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And thanks to all the panel. They really gave some useful information about the market. Thanks.
Rajiv, just one thing,
yes,
please.
Sir.
Rajiv, my question is more related to your company's business, but maybe I am open to any of the panelists. One of the most critical problem which we are facing in CGD, at least during operation, is cutting off or rupture or of leakage of HDP. Now we have technologies available like pipeline locators and other thing, cable locators as far as steel is concerned. At least I am not aware if anything exists for HDP or MDP. We in our company did have a discussion, and probably we did a very simple experiment of around 200-meter length or so of just wrapping around a normal electric wire along with the MDP. We thought, okay, let's put it at least with that we'll be able to trace the our MDP pipeline for our own maintenance work as a later. At least if anyone over here aware of any technological of locating at least HDP cables or our HDP pipes or MDP pipes, I am not aware if your company has done anything of
Sir,
locating that.
Mike Young from US is here from our company. I had a discussion with him on this subject. There is no locator in the world which detects MDP or plastics. You need to have an armored wire going all along it. And I was discussing yesterday with Mike on this subject. He said US and Europe has gone to that standards. That every pipe which goes, it has to have a metal inside to detect for the detection for the maintenance. So that's the thing has to come. Okay.
Yeah, we learned that, and probably we didn't have enough reasonably good feedback.
We are laying MDP pipe with copper wire, 1.2 mm copper wire.
How is the success of that experiment? We didn't get
Yeah, it
reasonably
is
good
successful
feedback.
actually. We have done it in Varanasi. Yeah, we can detect the pipeline with that.
No, no. While making the P pipe, they put it on in a molten state only. So it is embedded.
That is embedded in the pipe.
Perfect.
Okay. So it comes with the pipe.
So thanks to all the panelists, and with this I will close this session. But before closing, we would like to honor all the panelists who have taken out their valuable time and given a valuable feedback to our industry. Thank you, sir. Mr. Vipin, I would request you to do the honors to all the panelists. Mr. Rajiv Chak, sir, from EIL. Shri Sanjay Singh ji from GAIL. Shri Alok Anand ji from IOCL. Shri Chandramani Tiwari ji from AGNP. Sir, thank you for flying from Chennai. Thank you. Mr. Mathur from Think Gas. I'll do the honors for you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, with this, we move to our second panel for telecom, that's fiber optics infrastructure. But before this, we would like to do some honors, a philanthropy awards, which we plan to give for a service to the mankind and the nation. I would request Major General Sanjeev Grover, who is with us today, to come, he is retired, but to come to the stage and do the honors for us. The first philanthropy award would like to give it to Shri Mange Ramji from JSR Enterprises. Mr. Mange Ram in 2019 saved a 18-year kid when he fell into the bowel. He was given a call and the NDRF team was struggling for 42 hours until he got a call from the district officer to come down, and he took his mag locator and helped NDRF team to get the exact position that 60 feet below the ground. He was on the top and guiding the NDRF team, and in 48 hours the kid was saved. Here are some glimpses of what he did. Mr. Mangaram. Thank you, Mangaramji, for your service to the mankind. Mangaramji, दो शब्द.
सम्मानित मंच, विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से पधारे हुए सभी लोग, सबको सादर नमस्ते। हम सबको सब जगह यहाँ इकट्ठा करने वाले आदरणीय श्री राजीव गुप्ता जी का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एक्चुअली हम लोग लाइन वाला, ऑप्टिकल फाइबर वाला, गैस वाला ये काम कर रहे हैं। 2019 के अंदर एक बच्चा कुएं में गिर गया था 18 इंच के बोरवेल के अंदर, और अप्रोक्सीमेटली 30 फुट नीचे था वो, मतलब 10, 12, 15 मीटर के आसपास में, 12-14 मीटर के आसपास। और 3 दिन तक एनडीआरएफ की टीम और हिसार प्रशासन, हरियाणा प्रशासन, आर्मी और लोकल पब्लिक उसको ढूंढने के लिए पूरा प्रयास कर रही थी। जेसीबीज ने घूम करके हाइड्रा एक्सपेक्टर्स वगैरह लगा करके पूरा का पूरा जो है एक दूर लगभग 100-150 मीटर दूर से उसको खोद करके और उस बच्चे तक पहुंचने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। उस दौरान लगभग 2 दिन हो चुके और बच्चा अंदर पड़ा है, उसके ऊपर कैमरा लगा है, उसको अंदर ऑक्सीजन दी जा रही है 30 फुट नीचे। लेकिन लगभग 8 घंटे पहले उस जगह को, क्योंकि उनको ये लोकेशन एक्चुअली पता नहीं चल पा रही थी कि हम कहाँ पर हैं, उसी दौरान मैं वहाँ पर एसडीडी का काम कर रहा था हिसार के अंदर, और मेरे पास में इस तरह खबर आई तो बोला यार इसमें कुछ सहायता, और वो गलती से एडीसी के घर के आगे ही काम कर रहे थे। उन्होंने बताया कि इस तरह से जो काम चल रहा है वो शायद उस चीज़ में कोई सहायता कर दें। मेरे पास एसपी साहब का फ़ोन आया और उन्होंने बोला यार ऐसा कुछ इसमें कर सकते हो, क्योंकि वहाँ पर मंत्री, डीसी, एसपी सब लोग खड़े हुए हैं। मैं बोला बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं जी इस चीज़ को लेकर के। मैं वहाँ देन एंड देर अपना जो काम चल रहा था उसको रोक करके वापस निकाल करके डीजी ट्रैक और साउंड लेकर के गए वहाँ पे, और उसको लोकेट करके ऊपर से लोकेट करते रहे, साउंड लेकर के बच्चे को नीचे भेज दिया और वो उसको रोटेट करता रहा, घुमाता रहा उसकी डायरेक्शन। वो लगभग 8 फीट पहले थे जो उन्होंने जो मिट्टी निकाली, क्योंकि गेती के साथ में बच्चा नीचे फंसा हुआ है और उसको निकालना बड़ा मतलब टफ था। उसको यदि गलती से थोड़ा बहुत भी कुछ टच हो गया तो वो बच्चे की जान जा सकती थी। ऊपर से मिट्टी कोलाप्स हो सकती थी, बालू मिट्टी थी टोटली राजस्थान वाली। हमने जब लोकेट किया तो उनको पता चला भी पीछे 8 फुट और पड़ा है। जो अब मैनुअल खुदाई चल रही थी नीचे 20 फुट नीचे से लगभग 30 फुट नीचे, उसको हम लोगों ने जेसीबी से दोबारा खुदवा करके जब मात्र 1.5 से 2 फुट रहा तब हमने उस चीज को जेसीबी को हटा करके मैनुअल वहां पे खुदवा करके उस बच्चे को, आप विश्वास नहीं करोगे, 1.5 से 2 घंटे के अंदर उस बच्चे को वहां से रिकवर कर लिया। पूरा प्रशासन, पूरा चीज जो थी उन्होंने बड़ा मतलब इस चीज के लिए किया, और वो इक्विपमेंट उसके मार्गदर्शन के लिए जो डायरेक्शन यहाँ से मिल रही थी और राजीव गुप्ता जी कर रहे थे, हमने तो एकमात्र जरिया वहां से बन करके किया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जी आप सब लोगों का।
The next award, Philanthropy Award, goes to Trenchless Engineering Services Private Limited. Mr. Vipin Gupta ji and his team, please come on the stage for their wonderful efforts to save 41 lives from Silkaria Tunnel. Vipin Gupta ji, please come on the stage with your team. Three cheers for Mr. Vipin Gupta. That was a really daring effort. Sir, request you to please do the honors. Sir, few words.
Thank you for the honor. And like I always say, I was the lucky one, I was the chosen one. If anybody else in India would have got the job, he would have done equally well. So it was just sheer luck that we got a call from PMO. We were geared up, we went there, and I think rest is history. A lot of tunnel time. I thank my team, Himank. He has put in a lot of tunnel time into rescuing the boys. I mean, we were there for 14 days, and out of 14 days, I think in 24 hours, especially my friend here, Himank, he was there for almost 20 hours every day, day in and day out. Needless to say, the pressure was immense. PMO was following up, Chief Minister was there, General VK Singh was there, and he would not move out. He would say, I'm not going out without my boys out, so don't think that I'm just here for the meetings, and after the meeting I'm going to go out. So General VK Singh was there, camped in, and like I said, the pressure was immense, but at the end of the day, you know, nothing succeeds like success, and we are all here celebrating, you know, a good rescue. Thank you very much, and yeah, good deed done. Thank you.
The next panel for Fiber Optics Infrastructure Summit. I would request the panel to please come on the stage. Give big round of applause. Shri Gautam Kumar, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Telecom, Government, Department of Communications, is a PGM in BBNL. Please, sir, come on the stage. Mrs. Rima Kundu, General Manager, Engineers India Limited. Mr. Michael Young, President, Underground Magnetics, USA. Shri Jitendra Kumarji, Associate Vice President, HFCL. And Brigadier Umar Farooq, Retired Advisor, Elena Geosystems. Please come on the stage, sir. I'm the moderator. Thank you. So, so as we see that fiber optics infrastructure is growing at a faster pace, and the teledensity of India is increasing many folds. So today we are deliberating on few agendas. Like first I would like to talk to Mr. Gautam Kumar sir that, sir, how do you see the digital infrastructure as an essential component for India's growth? It's working, sir, from the bottom.
Check. Thank you, Raji. As today's discussion is mainly on city gas and fiber optics, I must say the fiber optics has really revolutionized the technology and really changed the way the world lives today. And the way we communicate, the world has really shrunk. Those were the days when people used to think of traveling across the Europe or any other country years together, maybe months or so. Now, with the new technological changes and with the advent of new technologies in terms of the optical fiber, all the data, information, everything is at your tips everywhere. It has really definitely has changed the world, and now, as you know, the optical fiber is having infinite bandwidth to transmit the information, and the world has really shrunk in a very positive way. So definitely this is a good step, and I think in the near future, the differences between the information availability to the urban and the rural is also will be bridged in very soon if the infrastructure of the optical fiber is percolated to the each and every corner of the world.
Sir, how do you see the future proofing of fiber infrastructure, fiber optics infrastructure? Because it's an asset. How do you see that?
See, for the optical fiber infrastructure has really not gone up to the level of to the each and every common citizen of this country at least. There are pockets, not only pockets, I must say that hardly we have about 58% of the broadband penetration or mobile penetration in the rural areas as compared to more than 100% of the mobile penetration in the urban areas. So this gap is to be filled up, and that is the only way that we should reach out to these remotest villages and the remotest part of the countries, so that all these technological advancement fruits are, given to the common persons or common citizens of this country.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Rima, the next question goes to you. That what are the challenges of fiber optics network construction in India? How do you see that?
Should I take this one? I think. Yeah. Am I audible? Is it okay? Can I?
Yeah, you are audible.
Unlike everybody I'm seeing, they are just putting everything on their mind and telling. I thought of jotting down everything, and I thought I would better read it out, whatever I have experienced in my 25 years of career. I am from EIL, so I am having experience of working in refinery, petrochemicals and pipelines, as well as many other areas where EIL is into. So yes, I am also one of them who can tell what challenges we face and what are the solutions which is feasible, which we can think of for OFC. One of the first and foremost thing is regulatory hurdles, which we all know, which our earlier panelist has already listed. So this fiber optic construction is having a major problem when we are looking into the regulatory requirements and obtaining permits for right-of-way access, land use, and environmental compliance. Delays in regulatory approvals can significantly impact project impact, timelines, and increase construction cost. So what about the solution? What solution we can think of? Collaboration between network operators, which is obviously not an easy task, but we have to think of it. Regulatory agencies and local authorities is essential to streamline the permitting process and expedite approvals. Establishing clear guidelines, standardized procedure, and online portals for permit applications can help reduce bureaucratic barriers and facilitate smoother project execution. Second, and one of the very important point for developing countries like India is cost. For OFC, construction involves significant upfront investment in material, labor, equipment, and infrastructure. Cost constraints, limited funding, and budgetary uncertainties pose challenges for network operators, especially in rural and underserved areas where population density and revenue potential may be lower. So implementing cost-effective construction technique, leveraging economies of scale, and exploring innovating financial models such as public-private partnerships and community-driven initiatives can help mitigate financial risk and make fiber optic network more economically viable. Additionally, maximizing the use of existing infrastructure like utility poles that you and some existing ducts can reduce deployment cost and accelerate network expansion. Technical complexity is always something we face for any technical development. So obviously, OFC construction requires specialized expertise, sophisticated equipments, and precise installation techniques to ensure optimal performance and reliability. Challenges such as fiber splicing, cable management, and signal attenuation can complicate the construction process and network quality. So investment in training and capacity building programs for technicians, engineers, and contractors is essential to enhance skills and competency in fiber optic installation, which our reverend friend in the last of panel was just told that they have already taken the initiatives. Many of the private players are already into it. We in EIL are also doing the business. We are trying to teach the contractors to come up with the issues they face so that we also can have some solution for them. Implementing quality assurance protocols, conducting site surveys, and utilizing advanced testing and monitoring tools can help identify potential issues early and ensure compliance with standards. One of the important in today's scenario is environmental. Fiber optic construction may have impacts, we all know that, including habitat disruption, soil erosion, and visible blight. So balancing the need for connectivity with environmental conservation and sustainability goal is a key consideration in project planning and execution. So adopting environmental friendly construction practices such as minimizing land disturbances, reusing material, and implementing erosion control measures can mitigate ecological footprints of fiber optic network construction. One of the very important facts for our country is community engagement. As we are just learning that when we are laying pipeline or OFC in our city infrastructure, we come across property rights and health and safety issue. So how to do that, how to continue with that issue, how to balance that issue. So establishing open channels of communication in hosting public forums and soliciting feedback from community members can foster transparency, trust, and collaboration throughout the construction process. Addressing community concerning, providing accurate information, and demonstrating the benefit of fiber optic connectivity in terms of economic development, education, healthcare, and quality of life can help consensus and garner public support for infrastructure projects. In conclusion, by leveraging innovative solutions, fostering collaboration, and embracing best practices, stakeholders can overcome barriers and unlock the transformative potential of fiber optic networks. As we navigate the complexities of building the infrastructure of tomorrow, a concerted effort to address challenges and implement sustainable solutions is essential for building resilient, future-ready network that serve the needs of society. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for deliberating. Thanks a lot. Shri Jitendra ji, I have a question for you. How do you see the fiberization in India and its growth pace? Yeah, Jitendra ji, your question. Fiberization in India and its growth pace.
Good evening, everybody. Actually, talking about the fiber optic technology, or earlier we have listened to that city gas infrastructure projects. Technology has been started more or less at the same time. Chuck sir has already discussed about 95 development when they started experimenting. In 94, 95, only the fiber has been introduced in India. But fiber technology has risen very sharply. And same, as you can see in last 20 years, telecom sector has performed very well. But now the time has come, some sort of saturation in terms of number of operators in India. But while still talking scope of fiber deployment, I think the last mile connectivity of all the towers has not been completed till date. That is pending. Moreover, in rural telecom, the backhaul or the access network to every gram panchayat or at the last end user in this country is still pending. So I still see several lakhs of kilometers sort of huge scope in fiber deployment field. Only one thing I will definitely want to share with all you. It is regarding aging of fiber. While the technology has been set up in India, the fiber age was stated as 25 years or near about 30 years. And that first lakh of kilometer has crossed that 25 years. Now everybody has to see about degradation of that fiber and the replacement and the maintenance perspective, which is very dicey for all. And you might be surprised when we have planned for Geo network. The access rings were planned for 1G capacity, thinking of 10 Mbps, 20 Mbps connectivity to each user. Now this has been upgraded to 100 Mbps per user, and the access rings capacity has increased to 10G at these normal days in the all, urban area in metro cities. So I see there is a huge scope of expansion, and parallelly the data availability to every end user, mobile user.
Thank you, sir. Mike, I have a question for you. How do you see new technology developments taking place and helping the fiber optics infrastructure across the world and specific to India?
Well, fiber optics is a big part of our business in the United States right now. Major expansions throughout all states. But I'd say primarily the push has been for us to develop products that make it easier to work in easements that already have existing utilities that can cause a lot of issues with active interference, passive interference. So we've developed new technologies that makes it easier and more efficient to drill in those environments. And then more recently, we've developed a real simple way to map and record where those fiber optic cables are being installed, which is actually some states require that the product be mapped and shared with the utility. And so we've got some new products here that Rajiv will be happy to talk about, but that's been the major push for us in the fiber optic market.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Brigadier Umar, I have a question for you. Sir, you have been associated with Elena Geosystems, which relates to NAVIC. It's a new you can say mapping the latitudes and longitudes. And how do you see it in a mapping of the fiber optics? Because you have been working more with the Indian defense system.
Good evening, everybody. Lakhs and lakhs and miles of fiber has been laid in India. And new projects which had come in the last about decade, even network for spectrum, which the BSNL has introduced, has brought in so many kilometers of fiber laid till the last mile. And these fiber requires to be mapped under one format. Now different types of format are being used by different agencies. So in a scenario like this, the boring equipment which people use for the underground boring, and these bore equipment can give an accuracy by just marking with the stones that if you go in the national highway, you find these things are marked with yellow color stones and all those things. These are all really, actually, if you look at it, it's very, very, very primitive ways. So in the modern technology, what is the best way to do that? So using the global positioning system is one of the best ways by which you can have accurate mapping of the fibers. But GPS, as you all know, it's an American global positioning system brought in by the USA for the usage exclusively in the region which is in which India is not forming part of it. The temperate region is very well covered by the GPS. If you see the globe, Arctic region, temperate region, and most of our country falls in the tropical region. So in the tropical region, GPS efficacy is questionable. And when GPS came into India, by all means it has given a wonderful service. It continues to give wonderful service. But what we have realized it, that our own system, the constellation of satellite which launched by the Indian Space Research Organization, with so much of research after the Kargil operation, the accuracy for which the positioning accuracy is much, much better than the GPS which can offer. And I can say that ELINA Geosystem has done pioneering work in this field for mapping accuracy. Even we have done a latest trial with Indian Railways, wherein the accuracy was compared with the GPS as well as with the NAVIC system. We could see that our accuracy mapping was right on the track of the railway track, whereas GPS was way away from what it was positioned. So the one thing is that if you want a sub-meter accuracy in terms of for maintenance purpose or for laying purpose or for mapping and doing the maintenance for already laid out cable, there is no doubt that NAVIC is the best suited thing. And it also can be used as a multi-GNSS. That means you can use the existing GPS, the GLONASS, and IRNS. IRNS is Indian, say NAVIC, other name is IRNS. And all three positioning system can be used by using a multi-GNSS antennas. So what it means is that it is not only in India, but right from anywhere in the world, we can use it. NAVIC per se can cover from Africa till Australia, the entire system, and this gives a better accuracy than the GPS. And so what we have done is that we have already done a understanding with underground magnetics. We are planning to carry out a collaboration with them to give NAVIC-based chip and integrating the hardware and software with their existing system so that whatever positioning or the mapping of the fiber can be done to the best accuracy possible as on date. So that we are already in the process of developing that system which will be available to all of us. And it is not only for the fiber mapping, it can be used in other sectors also, especially the oil sector where you have the oil pipelines and you want anything which is of sub-meter accuracy. The only answer is the Navic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Gautam, would you like to deliberate something which Brigadier Farooq has said? Because this could be a very useful technology for upcoming project of the BSNL probably, where the maintenance is one of the issues or locating the fibers below the ground once it is laid.
Sure. See, as far as the scope of the fiberization or optical fiber work that is there, or that is likely to come in near future, is huge. The government is embarking upon the projects in the phase 3 of BharatNet, wherein so far in phase 1 and phase 2, BharatNet has been planned for 2.5 lakhs gram panchayats. Now, recently, about 2 years back, our Honorable Prime Minister has already declared that we have to go to each and every village of the country. And we have about 6.5 lakhs villages in our country. So that is the quantum of scope is there for fiberization and laying of the optical fiber cable across the country in each and every village. In this scenario, the new technology, like you are saying, GPS or Navic, which we are now in the process of implementation in each and every aspect of our technology or any business that we are going to go here in India. We are gradually shifting to the Navic, not only other infrastructure, but specifically for that will be useful for our optical fiber works, which are now likely to come up in phase 3 of BharatNet, because we have villages across the country in a remotest place, and where you may not be having. We have seen in the rural areas like hills, northeast and J&K, we really do not have the proper roads to lay the optical fiber cable. So in that case, laying the optical fiber in a zigzag manner and identifying the routes for future maintenance, these kind of technology will be really very, very useful. And especially the other stakeholder like the infrastructure supporters and like your underground magnetic company that they have, which you have come up with the new instrument and new tools to take up these works and make more efficient working, so that the lifespan of the optical fiber goes beyond the imagination. That will really helpful in future also.
Thank you, sir. Mike, would you like to deliberate something on the mapping, which we are planning, which we have been aggressively following, that mapping of each fiber needs to be done to make sure that the asset is known below the ground?
Well, I think the key to mapping is making it simple so that each operator finds it easy to map. If you don't make it easy, they won't use it. So we've developed a system that is extremely easy for operators to use. It generates a real-time record that a manager sitting at an office can watch that bore happen as they're logging. And in the United States, it's become almost mandatory in many states that those records are shared with the municipalities that are putting the product in. So.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say here, the government of India's mandate by 2025 that anything to do with positioning or anything to do with the GPS related activities has to be NAVIC compliant. We have already given solutions in the shipping ministry. We have given solution in the railway ministry. We are also giving in the armed forces. Everywhere the NAVIC compliance, even the telephones, your telephone, what you are using GPS in 2025 in India, it has to be NAVIC compliance. So it's not that NAVIC compliance is just been introduced by the government just like that. Because of the superior quality of service which NAVIC provides, and it has been tried, tested, researched by the ISRO that this has been made mandatory. Secondly, the bore log, which whenever you are doing the digging in the fiber optics, the bore log has to be in a single identifiable format by everyone, whether it is in the oil sector or in the fiber sector or any other sector. It needs to be mapped in a single type of a data format. Then only in an electronic format, when you are storing data, it could be easily discernible by the people who doesn't have technical knowledge. So in that context, unless we go in for a standardized format, which is definitely NAVIC and NAVIC related activities like our companies can provide that. And that is going to be the requirement and mandatory requirement in the years to come, and 2025 is not very far off. So even like, as I said, that whether it is mobile, whether it is vehicle monitoring system, the FASTag which is being replaced in your highways, it has to be NAVIC compliant, and it is not going to be any more GPS. We do not, the aim is not to discourage GPS. We have an US person sitting here. As I told you, NAVIC is best suited for the temperate region. Whereas our system, GPS is best suited for the temperate region. For tropical region, where there is ionospheric disturbances are much more higher, our scientists have done research, and accordingly, the constellation of the satellite was placed in such a way that the accuracy where we can expect is sub-meter level. And that has been achieved. And naturally, this is going to be a game changer for oil industry, for fiber industry, or anywhere where you require accurate positioning and navigation and timing also. Timing in the telecom industry, synchronization of the timing is very much important, and the timing is related to the satellite constellation of the Indian constellation. So from that angle, I think the NAVIC based solution is going to be a game changer in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your information on the NAVIC, and that's relatively very new. With this, would like to, any questions from the panel? Any questions? Any questions? With this, we'd like to close the session. Thank you all for coming down and giving your valuable feedback to the audience. Thank you. And we would like to honor you all with the memento. Mike, can you do the honors for me? Yeah. Miss Rima from EIL. Shri Gautam Kumar, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Communications. Shri Jitendra Kumar from HFCL. And Brigadier Farooq from LNI Geosystems. Mike, I will do the honors for you. Yeah. Thank you all. We would like to, thank you everybody. We would also like to honor some of the companies who are available here as a goodwill gesture. So first is the team Power Tech, Power Grid. The Power Grid team is here. I request you Power Grid team to please come on the stage. Power Grid team, Mr. A.K. Singh. Reliance Jio team, are they here? Mr. Sumanta. Reliance Jio, please come on the stage. Mike, I would request you to do the honors. Mike is busy. Mike, you need to do the honors. Mr. Sumanta from Reliance Jio, he's representing Reliance Jio here. We are honoring Reliance Jio for their contribution to the nation. Next is Polycap team. Is Polycap team here? Please come on the stage, sir. Team Polycap for their outstanding contribution. Vindhya Telelinks. Is somebody there from Vindhya Telelinks? Please come on the stage. The Vindhya Telelinks team. Please come on the center, please. Vichitra Construction, Mr. R.A. Agrawal, is he here? Please come on the stage, sir. Mr. R.A. Agrawal from Vichitra Constructions. Hitesh from Vichitra Constructions. I think they have left. Team Schwingstetter, is there? Are they here? Mr. Ravikant is here from IGL. I would request Mr. Ravikant to please come on the stage. Mr. Ravikant from IGL. Is Power Grid team back here? Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all for coming down and sparing your valuable time. Thanks, everybody. Please enjoy your drinks and dinner. Thank you once again. And I would like to call Underground Magnetics team on the stage. They have been doing a wonderful job for last few months and their tiring efforts. Underground Magnetics team, please come on the stage. Underground Magnetics team. Come on the stage, everybody. Where are others? This team has been working for last 1 month tirelessly for this event. Thank you all. Thank you to the team. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh my.